Hello and welcome to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. Well, in today's episode, we're going to be looking at what I've been up to recently and what I've been purchasing, as I've made the mistake of going to the hardware store and buying all my seeds for this month. So I'll let you know what I've purchased and what I'm getting up to. Well, about 15 days ago, I thought I'm going to try an experiment, and I've seen people grow lemon trees. I've seen people grow avocado trees. So I thought I'm going to give it a go myself. So I found that it can be quite tricky to get the lemon seeds to germinate and avocado seeds. But I've followed the process of what you need to do for the lemons, and thankfully they've germinated. I got 8 seeds that have got shoots in them, and I thought, wow, I can't believe this. And I shared it with my followers on Facebook, and they were like gobsmacked. They said, "How have you managed to do that?" So I've been recording it how I've actually done it. So once they've started growing properly, I will be uploading it onto YouTube. So make sure you follow my YouTube channel, Gardening with Ben, and you'll be able to see how I've got my lemons seeds to germinate. It was the first time that I'd done it, and I thought, wow, it must be easier than I thought if I've managed to get them to germinate, unless I've got green fingers. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. My avocado's not germinated yet, but I've read that it does take a long time for the avocado to start to germinate. So we'll keep watching it and see if it does germinate. And like I said, I've been recording it as I've been going along. So fingers crossed, we'll see how it gets on. So I made the mistake of going to our local hardware store to get my seeds for this year, for this month, and I always go into the discount section, which is a big mistake. And I, a couple of months ago, I bought some roses for my allotment, as I've got no rose bushes on the plot, and I thought they will certainly add a lot of colour to my plot. And they've been reduced from £7 to £2. And I thought, I wish I could have got some more to put all the way down the sides of my plot. And as I went in, what did I see? Lots of rose bushes reduced on the shelf. So I ended up walking away with 8 rose bushes. And I bet you're thinking, what, 8 rose bushes? I know, I must be mad. But I've purchased 8 rose bushes, and they are, uh, some of them are the same colours, but they're a good variety. So I'll mix them up down the sides of my plot. And fingers crossed, if the weather gets better, as it's still a bit frozen around here, I'll be planting them on my allotment, and fingers crossed we'll be attracting lots of bees, and it'll be a nice fragrance down the sides of my plot. And you can't beat roses; they're absolutely beautiful. So I've got some new rose bushes. So fingers crossed I'll be able to share the pictures with you on them ones. So what seeds have I purchased to plant this month? So I've purchased some sweet pea seeds, and I follow a different process when I grow the sweet pea seeds. I've shared this in one of my other podcasts, but like I said, I'm recording how I'm doing it, so I'll share with you if it does work, and you'll be able to try it yourself. As sweet peas can be quite hard to germinate as well, and you can have trouble with mice eating the seeds. So we're gonna see if we can get these to germinate, and if so, I'll share with you how I've done it. So the other seeds that I've purchased to plant this month are broad beans. Like I said in my podcast the other day about what seeds to plant, you've got to make sure that they're winter hardy ones if you're planting them now, so that they will actually grow in this climate. On the packet it says to plant between November and January, so always check what the packet says as well, as that gives you general hints and tips. So the vegetables and fruit that I've purchased are peppers, as I've grown peppers quite a few times, but they need a long time, a long growing season before they start fruiting. And sometimes I've started them about March time, and it's just not long enough for them to get a good crop of peppers on. So I've read that a lot of people are sowing them now indoors. So I've purchased some peppers to try myself. I've also purchased some aubergine, Again, they need quite a long time to grow, so I've purchased them and I'm going to start them indoors. And I've purchased some rhubarb seed. I've got a lot of rhubarb on the plot, but the reason why I purchased rhubarb seed is I want to show my followers how easy it is to grow rhubarb from seed and the process of doing it, as I've grown rhubarb from seed myself and it's done really well. So I'll show you how to grow rhubarb from seed. I've also purchased my onion seeds as I'm wanting to grow some giant onions. If we start them now, we should, fingers crossed, get some nice sized onions. So I'm going to be planting all my onion seeds now as well. Also, I've purchased some strawberry seeds. Now, I've never grown strawberries from seed. Um, if you've seen my plot, you've seen that I've got hundreds of strawberry plants, but you can never have enough strawberry plants on your plot. So I purchased some strawberry seeds to try and grow some from seed. We'll see how easy it is when we do it, but fingers crossed they do grow and I can fill some more gaps in with my strawberries and have even more fruit at summertime. Now, last year was the first year that I grew flowers on the plot, and I'm wanting to get lots and lots more flowers growing this year. So I'm gonna go full hog with growing flowers this year on my plot. And the seeds that I bought are geranium. I grew these from seed last year and I got about 12 plants growing, and I managed to get some cuttings from them, so fingers crossed they take as well. And geraniums are really nice and add some flowers to the plot, and the colour lasts all the way up to from summer through to November, December time, as mine were still in flower when I dug them up. So fingers crossed we get a lot more geraniums growing on my plot, as they certainly do look good. The next is lavender seed. Now I've got a couple of lavender plants and I've taken some cuttings from them, and I thought you can't have enough lavender and it attracts the butterflies as well. And I do love to see the butterflies. And as like I say, they've very good fragrance as well. So I'm going to try and grow some lavender from seed. I'm hoping to have flowers all the way down the sides of my plots. And if I can get a lot of lavender growing, I'll be happy at that, because lavender is absolutely brilliant. Now, another one that you can sow this month is snapdragons. And snapdragons are very peculiar looking. I remember as a child pushing their lips together to snap. So yeah, and obviously they're good for the bees as well and for the wildlife and the butterflies. So I'm going to try and grow some snapdragon, as I've never had snapdragons on my plot. So I can't wait to see if they actually grow. So we'll have to stay tuned on them. And last but not least are carnations, and obviously they're good for cutting and putting in vases and stuff like that and giving away. So fingers crossed we can get some of those growing and I can cut them and put them in my flat. So yeah, that's what seeds I've purchased this month. If you're listening, feel free to drop me a message on Instagram, on Facebook, Gardening with Ben, and let me know what you're growing this month and if you find any of these tips useful. So as always, thanks for listening, and remember, keep gardening.